Hey Tommy,
What is going on?
I'm just living my best life. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Let me throw the glasses on. My eyes look really bad. Hold up a second. I gotta put these guys on here.
Just to look more
Boom.
sophisticated.
I
Got
don't know. I think there's just like I'm like used to it now. It's like part of me.
it.
Wearing glasses is part of me now.
Thanks for hopping on to Life's Not Linear. And so I think you are our fourth episode, so I'm super pumped to interview you, my teammate and my friend. Um, so Life's Not Linear interviews with people who have navigated difficult situations, be it through a recession, layoffs, career changes, and even pandemics. Um, and so, how we're going to kick this off is the first question I'm going to ask you is what did you study and where did you go to school?
Sure. I started my, I guess what I would like consider my educational career back in New Jersey. I went to
Mhm.
the New Jersey Institute of Technology, which is in Newark, New Jersey. Kind of a rough area, but I think it brings the best out of you. And then immediately after graduating, right after I took the cap and gown off, I was
Mhm.
off to Atlanta and I started my master's degree in industrial design at Georgia Tech. I'm wearing the hat right now. Georgia
Oh,
Tech.
nice.
Yeah, so mechanical engineering to product design, basically.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
That is a quick transition.
yeah,
So, how was the job market when you first graduated? And what was your first job coming out of college, if there was like any
yeah,
really
sure.
available?
So I would say I don't know what the job market was because when I first graduated, like I said, I was like I didn't the way I got into Georgia Tech is like this like roundabout story in itself is like a story.
Hmm.
I didn't even think I wasn't thinking about going to grad school. I was thinking about getting a job, and then
Okay.
the opportunity to go to grad school happened for me. I applied, and the rest is history. But when I was an undergrad, I had the fortunate opportunity of building a company with, at the time, a good friend of mine. Um, we built a company called Mayo 3D, and we basically were building a 3D printing education platform for students and teachers, and we did really, really well. We
Okay.
did really well. It was rock and rolling, and
Hmm.
you learn things about business, you learn things about people, and that's as far as I'll go about that. But you learn things about people in business by
Hmm.
trying. And so when I was an undergrad, that's what happened. That's what I was working doing. And then when
Hmm.
I went to Georgia Tech, uh, we had already dissolved Mile 3D, and I then started a dry erase company called Peel Boards,
Hmm.
which I kind of started when I was at NJIT. Um, but basically, peel boards, I still have some in the house here somewhere. Basically, giant stickers for your walls. The problem was that as an engineering student, I would stay up studying late,
Hmm.
and I couldn't. I wanted to have a dry board, like a dry erase board in my room, but uh, we lived that we lived in
Yeah.
style dormitories,
Mm.
and it was like cinder blocks, and so I couldn't drill into the cinder block to hang up a dry erase board. And
Hmm.
my friends who lived in newer style dorms couldn't. They were not allowed to make holes in their walls.
Hmm.
And so I found that, like, as an engineering student, I was like, damn, I wish I could. Mom is gonna keep calling me here. I wish that yeah, I know, perfect timing, right?
No
I
worries.
wish I could hang up a dry erase board. Yeah. So anyway, peel boards was that. That's a story in itself. I'd love to go into that deeper, but
Hmm.
so that's what the job is.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that too. That I feel like a lot of people could use that. Um, and so what made you choose to do a bunch of your own ventures versus working for a company?
Well, so at the time, well, okay, so I think that it's always been who I am. I've always been a hustler. I've always found ways to like make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think it's just like in me. It's just who I am. I think it's honest to goodness is just part of who I am. Um,
Hmm.
I think there are still are places where I think I would have loved to like work at and I would aspire to like be at. Um,
Hmm.
but I think sometimes those things are more for like like a badge of approval, like a stamp of approval, like, oh, you worked at Google or you worked at Tesla or you did whatever.
Hmm.
But I don't think those things are important. I think, like, your internal happiness is more important. And of course, it's a battle. But anyway, the reason I went down that path is that I think I've just always been entrepreneurial.
Hmm.
Always been. I've only had one internship my entire life, and I've never had a real salaried career ever.
Hmm. Nice. Not something that many people can say. And like
Yeah.
you've gotten to do so many different things and use your engineering side and your creative side. Um, and so as you were like pushing through school, which is obviously very difficult, especially in engineering and then going to Georgia Tech, and as you're building these companies, what did you do or tell yourself to keep yourself going and to push forward?
Good question. Because it's definitely a difficult ride. I would
Hmm.
say for people who are risk adverse and so forth, there's a lot of things you need to learn. And if you're risk adverse, I wouldn't recommend it for people, to be honest. There's a lot of hats you need to wear, like legit hats you need to wear.
Hmm.
Um, but the things I would tell myself, I believe in playing the long game. So like I'm an active investor, like my own like personal finances and so forth. So I
Hmm.
believe in playing the long game. And I think that when I would have an issue or I'd run into something, um, I just know that if I keep at it, if I believe in this, it probably will turn into something that will turn into something else, and eventually kind of get
Hmm.
to that point. But a good friend of mine, Brandon, he's building a company called iAccess Life.
Hmm.
Really good guy. He's handicapped, and his business is around helping other handicapped individuals.
Hmm.
We were talking like last week, he and I, and he he just like he's like, hey man, like trust me, I've been working on this for like 2 years. He's doing well, but been working on it for 2 years now, and it's okay if you don't make progress today. It's okay if
Hmm.
today like you take a day for yourself. Well, this week you just take like a self like just step back. It's
Hmm.
okay, like, and so I think that as an entrepreneur, I think you need to realize those things as well. It's like it's totally okay to like go at your own pace, and you don't have to read Fortune magazine or startups or anything like that, like 100 startups.
Yeah.
Everybody's path is completely different.
Mhm. Yeah, it's so true. And it's a good reminder. Okay, thank you for being on this interview today. And before we wrap up, my last question that I like to ask is what is one piece of advice that you would share with yourself back when you were in college or when you were about to graduate?
Ooh, that's deep because
Yeah.
um, I would say if I could share something with myself back then, is
Hmm.
don't look for affirmation from others. I think don't look for like validation and affirmation of like who you are or what you're worth or what you can do.
Hmm.
Don't look for that from others. Look for it within yourself and find it within yourself. But don't look for that love and affirmation and anything from anybody else. It's going to come from you, and where you're at in life is okay. Like everybody's path is different.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That is the best piece of advice yet. So thank you for sharing that.
awesome.
All right. Thank you, Tommy, for being on today's Life's Not Linear. Um, so we will be posting this on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. And if you know of anybody or if anybody watching is interested in sharing their story, just message us. Have a good day.
100%. Absolutely.
See you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.